arrangement just in time for the holidays. If you're interested in doing something like this, there are a few things that you need, and I'm going to keep this one really simple. So if you've never done a floral arrangement before but you're interested, I think today is the day that you could actually try to tackle something, because I'm keeping this really, really simplistic. First thing that you need is something to put your arrangement in. This is a really cool find from, I got it at TJ Maxx or Ross or Home Goods or one of those stores, so it was really like probably 15 bucks or less. Really great piece and very heavy, nice sturdy piece. For this arrangement, I'm sticking with just 3 types of pieces. You're gonna want something that's bigger, so I chose a glittery green poinsettia, and you're going to want to have something that's kind of medium, and I just chose these golden, it's a stick of golden balls basically, and then a filler, and I chose a red berry filler like this. So I just don't know what to tell you as far as quantity, because it's always different. Your size arrangement's going to be different than my size, and so I can't really give you a number. For this, I just grabbed a handful. I probably grabbed about 7 of the big ones, and then 3 of these medium ones, and probably, I don't even know how many of the red, probably 5 or 7 of those. I usually get in odd numbers because it makes sense to me. So that's what you're gonna need as far as flowers go, and you're probably gonna need more than you think, so always just get a couple more. And I don't even know if I have enough. I usually get as much as I think I need, and if I have to run back and get a little more, I do. But I'd rather not. And if you don't use everything, then you can always take it back. So, all right, and then you also need foam. This is floral foam, and it comes in blocks, and we're gonna need some of that, which we'll get to first. And also you will need a cutting board with a knife. Just use a cheap knife that you got laying around the kitchen to cut your foam. And then you're also going to need some of these wire cutters or floral cutters, and this will be for clipping your flowers. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first step in making a floral arrangement is creating your base of foam so that you have something to stick all of the stems in. If you've never done floral arranging, that's a little 101. In your base, your pot, your bowl, whatever it is, you're basically just shoving the foam in there. So I can see here with this block, it's a little too wide, and it can't really be forced in there. Now, I have to say, and it's important to know, that this is not a science or an art as far as getting the foam in the bottom. You're just shoving a bunch in there so that it stays. I will also note that I love this bowl so much, and there was only one, and so I want to make this floral arrangement last through Christmas, but I really don't want to not enjoy this bowl for a whole year. And so I want to make the foam in here so that I can take it out and use this for something else throughout the rest of the year. Okay? So I'm just shoving that piece in there, and as you can see, I need some on the side, and maybe I can use that. That kind of works actually. And so I just need one more piece for the other side. So this is what the styrofoam will look like when you shove it in. It's nice and secure, it's not going anywhere, and yet when I'm done with my arrangement, I can just kind of pull it all out carefully and stick it in a bag until I use it again next winter. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and secure my styrofoam just a little bit with this glue so that when I pull it out after the holiday season and I store it, this is just gonna have a little bit more security with itself. So to get started with making your arrangement, I would suggest putting your stuff out in the order that you would use it. You're always gonna wanna start with your big stuff first, because that takes up the most room. So you wanna get that all arranged first, and then you're gonna move on to your medium things, and then your smaller filler. So that's how I've laid it out, so that I can just kind of work from here to here to here. And so we'll go ahead and get started with our biggest item. So as you can see, I still have the tags on everything, and that's because sometimes I do have a little bit more than I need, so then I can, of course, take it back to the store if I haven't used it. And by the way, little tip, don't ever pay full price for flowers. There's no reason to. Most stores, most craft stores, not all, but most craft stores put their florals on sale often, regular basis. And so you should never have to pay full price. And I got all of this at least 50% off. And so it really was not very expensive to get all of these flowers, because otherwise they're really, really pricey. Anyway, one at a time, you're going to cut your tags off when you put it in. Then you're ready to cut. Now the length is, there's no rule, there's no science. This is where it is kind of an art, not because you have to be creative, but because you'll kind of figure it out as you go. So all of the stems I'm cutting are not going to be the same length. The first one that I'm going to put in, I'm going to put it kind of at the top. And if I know that I want my arrangement to be about this big, that helps me then determine how long to cut my stem. If I know I want this to be a really big, tall arrangement, then obviously that changes things, and I would cut it here instead of here. So the first thing before you get started is to determine what size, what shape, how big is this going to be. So I just kind of want mine to be right around in this area. So I know that I'm going to be cutting it around here, and it's just a guess. You can always cut it shorter. These are very handy. If you don't have a pair, it's going to be really miserable to try to put an arrangement together with regular scissors, so don't attempt that. Now once you have that, you're just going to stick it in, literally, just like that. This is where you would then look at it and decide, is this how tall I want my arrangement to be? If this is my tallest one, does that seem about right? And I'm going to say that's probably pretty good. I can always go shorter if I want to. And so I'll leave it there for now, and then I move on to my next big thing. And I'm cutting off my tags, one at a time. And same thing, I'm going to decide where I want it, determine about how long it's going to be, clip it, and then stick that one in as well. Now, as far as arranging, there is no rule really to follow, except that you want things to be sort of even. And I do want my poinsettias to be evenly dispersed, so I'm not going to put two right next to each other. That's what the different flowers are for, is to balance each other out. Alright, so this is what we're looking at so far. And I'm already going to be able to tell that I may want to bring this one shorter. So this might be a good time just to go ahead and snip off another 1.5 inches or 2. Stick that back in. And that feels more comfortable to me. So I would recommend definitely putting big ones right at the base as well. And so because I'm going to do that with this, I can go ahead and get rid of these leaves. I don't need any of these. So I'm just going to cut it really short. This is probably a pretty good length. And then you're just going to have that go in right at the base. So it's sitting right on the edge of your bowl. And you're going to want to do that on more than one side. Okay. So this is what we've got so far. You can see I've got a few around, and you can see where my main hole is right there on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and stick my last poinsettia there in the top to fill up that space nicely. Okay. And I also can tell you, because I'm winging this on video with you, that I wish I did have one more poinsettia right here. I think that that would fill that space really nicely. But I don't have it, and so we're gonna see how we can fill that space with the other stuff. And if it means I need to just grab one more poinsettia at the store next time I'm there, no big deal. So let's go ahead and move on to our next item, which is the medium thing. I chose these golden things. I think they're really pretty. I'm already wishing that I got more, but I'm kind of thinking maybe they didn't have any more. But I liked them so much I wanted to get them. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use the length that I've got here and just start sticking it in. And again, you want to evenly space these. So I've got one over there, which would mean that maybe one over here would be nice. And then probably one over on this side where we don't see any of it. We'll go right here. That feels a little long to me. You can always just pull it back out and cut it. And try that again. So we're going to go ahead and do our filler. This is the last part. And I have about 5 of these. And as I'm putting this together, I'm not so sure how the spaces are going to fill up. So we'll see. We may need to bring the whole thing a little bit smaller, which is so easy to do. It's not a big deal. So you're just gonna clip and snap, just keep going with your florals, just the way you did with the other stuff. See, I feel like that's just a little too high. Clip it down a little bit. Stick it in again. And you're just gonna go ahead and do that with all of your filler. Okay. So this is where we're at. I've used everything that I bought at the store, and this is how it ended up, but I think I'm lacking, which is kind of my tradition, it seems, is it's like I always just need like 1 or 2 more things. I'm telling you, you always need more than you think. Anyway, so this is how it looks here. It's not so bad, but I am feeling like with the red that I'm seeing around, I do need red right in here. You see that? It's just kind of lacking a little color right in there, too much green. And if you turn it, you'll see also, this is a problem area because I can see into my foam, I can see into my stems, and I don't want to see that. So I'll probably grab another something for in here and here. And this is definitely a problem area because this is a big hole. I can see my stems and my foam. I need a big green poinsettia right there. So I'm gonna get 1 big poinsettia, and then I think I'm just gonna get a couple more gold and red. Got another problem area in here where you can see in. And then it will be good to go. So I will go ahead and show that to you when it's all finished. In the meantime, I want you to consider trying your hand at making an arrangement. Do it with your family members, with your daughter, your sister, grab a girlfriend, anyone to try this with, because it's really a very fun creative outlet. It's something different than other hobbies that you may have and other things that you're doing. So this might be a good season to give it a try. Just do it simple. Just grab a few big items, medium, and then small filler, and you'll be good to go.